Okay, this is the watch list for Friday, October 2nd. Start with Lumber Liquidators LL. It's not a compelling chart unless you traded today and you saw intraday the kind of strength this thing had. Those are 15-minute candles. See the volume really strong. I have a feeling this is probably connected to Hurricane Joaquin, is it? Right? I think that's probably what's going on here, but I definitely want to watch this tomorrow, and I'm actually going to probably keep one ear to the Weather Channel. Not literally, but we'll be watching and seeing what they're tweeting about. You know what? I'll just jump to the other one that might be a hurricane play. GNRC had a big day-and-a-half run. If I switch to 15-minute candles, a huge day, and then today it started off strong and then rolled over a little bit. And I think that was with maybe the storm looking like it wasn't going to hit the United States. So with this big pullback now, this becomes interesting to me again. Yes, it seems a little bit goofy to be trading a generator play on a hurricane. But they run nonetheless, so we're gonna watch this one. And if they start to talk about storm of the century gonna hit, then we'll start to look and see if GNRC is giving any kind of trade. So that one and Lumber Liquidators LL both might be weather plays tomorrow. This VBLT, a little bit of a bounce today. I didn't have a trade in it today, just had it on watch. It didn't give any kind of setup that we teach, but I'm gonna watch it again tomorrow. MNGA. I've still got the trend line that it broke, and then today at one point I really thought it was going to get going, and it just another boring day. We're closed right at it. So you kind of have it's finding equilibrium at $1. If this gets over $1.04, $1.05, $1.06, something like that, this one might take off. Yeah, it's kind of a weird looking chart. I guess it's one of those that really needs news, but I was intrigued with it starting yesterday because it had almost 500,000 shares in the first 5 minutes and over 1 million in the first 15. That's a lot for this stock. I still like the trend line break. I still think this might end up looking pretty good on the weekly, especially with any kind of a green close. You're going to have this trend line break and a solid weekly candle. I think this one is worth watching going forward. It doesn't seem to be much of a trader, but it's an interesting possible swing from this level anyway. But I'm not a swing trader. All right, PMCS. Want to watch this one because it had a big pop late in the day. These are 5-minute candles. It had this monster pop right here and then a little pullback. I don't know what the news was that caused that, but I want to watch that one for some follow through tomorrow. XOMA. This one's really interesting, gapped up and held up pretty well. Shorts jumped on it and were pretty successful pushing it back down under $1, but it ended up closing just below its open. Opened at 114 and closed at 108. So, this gets back up through the open tomorrow or back up through today's high. It's certainly interesting, all right? Let me turn that thing off that's making noise. All right, so that's XOMA, maybe a red to green or something tomorrow. GNRC already talked about. CANF, this one came down below recent support, recent high flyer, but has a little bit of a bottoming tail, so it found some buyers late in the afternoon. I still want to watch that one for potential bounce. I had it on watch for today. It didn't give any trades, but I'll be watching it again tomorrow. KND, I like these stocks that are blowing up here because they offer nice bounces. I'll show you a couple recent ones, DEPO and XPO. If you remember, both of those kind of look like this one, and they gave nice bounces. So this KND is another nice potential bounce play. And it had some nice bounces back here off between 13 and 14. So we're getting down to that area and ahead of itself to the downside. Like this one for a potential bounce. That's KND and HAIN. This one's a little more obscure, but I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days in a row. Looking to the left here, it had a nice bounce. I don't know, right above 48. Does it have to get there? I don't know. This was kind of a Wall Street darling for a long time. This HAIN. And it's pretty beaten up, so I think it's a good candidate for a bounce. And that's it. Like I always say this, I'm hoping to find some nice gappers in the morning because those can be, really profitable as well. So I'm sure we'll add gappers to the list before the open, and hopefully we'll find some nice reversal setups on an intraday basis as well. The group's really good at looking for those. So we will see everybody on Friday. Have a good night.